The stocks won't do what you want. You need to do what the stocks want. The market is an endless stream. It's a constant, endless flow of information. And your only job as a trader is to pluck trades out of that endless flow of information, completely non-biased, no emotions, no attachment. There's just this flow of information, and you need to pluck trades out of it. And as you're learning how to trade, you're learning how to read that flow of information. Imagine it as a stream, and you're fishing on this stream of water, right? Your first time you head up to that stream, you have no idea where the fish are. You have no idea where the honey holes are, where the rocks that you can get snagged on are. You don't know anything about it. It's just, you just see water. You see water moving. But every time you come back and you cast and you cast and you cast, you have to cast. You have to throw trades out there. You have to throw and cast your line out there to test it out and test the waters. That's where that phrase comes from. You have to test the waters. You have to throw it out, throw it out, throw it out. And eventually you learn, oh wait, I got a little nibble on that one. Okay, maybe I'll start casting in that general direction. Like you cast, nothing. You move 20 yards down, you cast, nothing. You move 20 yards down, you cast. Oh, there's a little bit of a nibble. You cast again. Oh, another a bigger nibble. And you cast again. Nothing. Okay. Well, are you going to move down again? No. You finally have a little bit of a nibble. You're going to keep casting there. 100 trades mentality. You keep casting there. You don't want to fall into the beginner trader, !beginner in chat. You don't want to fall into that strategy cycle where just because you got a couple nibbles and then all of a sudden nothing, you leave and move on to the next one. No, you need to practice. Now you've gotten in an area where the fish are. Now you need to figure out what lure the fish like. Do they like this brown worm? Do they like this green worm? Do they like do you like some sort of jig setup, or do they prefer you skimming along the top? Do they prefer a fly fishing setup? You have to test out different setups on where those fish are, right? And you keep trying. All right, well, I'll see you in a bit. You keep trying, you keep casting out there, and you notice that the hits are getting stronger, and you're actually getting a few fish to stick on the lure, stick on your hook, and you're catching a few fish, and you reel them in, and you catch them, and it's a small fish, and then a small fish. You change your lure a little bit, you throw it out there, and you get these bigger fish, and you start getting bigger fish. You keep honing in until you find that perfect spot, and you find the bait that they like, and you start getting the biggest fish in that river. Right? And your job was to learn the information, learn how to read the information. So there's this stream of information. You learned how to read that stream of information with the white water, where the rapids are, where there's the honey holes, where there's more fish, where there's fish that aren't great to catch, but they're there. Like if you're fishing for walleye and there's a ton of pike over here that are going to steal the same type of bait that the walleye like, well, you're not going to keep fishing in that spot because the pike are going to keep taking your bait. And so you keep learning how to read this information, and studying and learning and studying and learning. And then as you become a better reader of information, you throw more casts out there into the water, and eventually you narrow it down and you get better, and you find exactly, let's say the fish really like fly fishing, but you're just not good at fly fishing. Well, then don't fly fish, or practice and get better at it, one or the other. Now, how do you know when you should practice and keep pushing forward and when you should give up? Well, that's part of like building strategies in the market. Some people just don't like breakout trades. They're too fast for them. And if you know that your personality, you don't like the massive risk tolerance you need for a really quick breakout trade on a parabolic move, and you know that just doesn't fit you, then you don't do it. If you know fly fishing, you're just going to keep tangling your fingers in the line and eventually snap one of your fingers off. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it at that point. You don't want to force it. You want to do something that you can do consistently over time and that fits your unique personality. Okay? So you see this endless stream of information. That's the market. You learn how to read that endless stream of information. That's you getting better as a trader and studying and learning different setups and learning different strategies and learning different technical analysis styles. All right? And then you eventually start getting some bites. That's when these setups start forming, but maybe you're not catching them, but you keep throwing the lines out there, meaning placing trades. You have to place trades to learn and get a feel for the market, because if you're just watching, you're sitting here, you don't have any involvement in the market. You don't have any emotional attachment to anything that's going on. You don't know if this setup is actually working for you or not, because you're just watching it from the sidelines, right? You have to actually get in there. You have to take the trade and you have to see if that trade's working for you. So you keep casting, you get these bites, and then eventually you catch some fish, and the fish are small. You're catching these smaller trades. So you're throwing lines out into this endless stream of information in the market, and you're plucking these small trades out. But those small trades might not be worth the risk. Let's say it's a small fish, but the fish completely eats your lure, and that was your last one, and now you can't fish anymore for that day because you're out of your lure. You're out of the lure that really worked for you and was catching these fish. That small fish was not worth the reward. Let's say you need to eat that night. You're camping and you need to eat, and that fish is just too small. It doesn't give you enough food to eat. It wasn't worth it. So you change to a bigger hook, for example, and that bigger hook is going to allow you to catch bigger fish. And so you keep finding ways to minimize your risk and to increase the size of the fish that you catch. And then you keep casting until you're getting these big fish. And let's say you're catching a bunch of small fish here. And, well, is it confirmation bias that this is the honey hole you're looking for? That this is where all the trades, yes, but all the fish in this metaphor, all the fish that you can catch are? Well, you might be catching a bunch of small fish, but as soon as you change to a bigger hook, you might feel nothing. You might feel little nibbles as the small fish try and eat it, but the hook is way too big for them, and you get no trades. You're getting nothing. Just nothing is working out. You keep casting your line out there, you're putting orders out there, and the trades just aren't working out. That's because you're looking for too big of trades in a setup that doesn't allow for that massive trade. So if you want that massive trade, well, then you might have to change locations again, like we talked about earlier. Move down 20 yards now with this bigger hook and try that again. Okay? And you need to understand that flow as you're testing out the market and testing out the waters and trying to find the strategy that works best for you, because your job as a trader is to watch this endless stream of information. This information is non-sentient. There's no bias. The market doesn't care about you. It doesn't care about what setups you're looking for. It doesn't care about what horizontal support and resistance levels you have drawn on your chart. Just because you draw a level on your chart the market doesn't see that. You're just drawing that level on your chart for you to see. It's on your end. It's client side. The market doesn't see that. It doesn't care about that. Market doesn't care about you. It doesn't know you. It doesn't care that you want a 1% stop loss or a 1% target. It doesn't care that you want a 50-cent target. It cares about what's happening. It cares about price action. It cares about patterns within this stream of information. So you need to learn how to read those patterns and read the stream of information. So first you learn how to read the stream of information. What does all of it mean? What's the definition? What is a high, a low, an open, a close, a candle body, a candle wick, support, resistance, moving averages, and level 2 data, and bid and ask, and volume and volatility. What are all of these numbers? What are all these definitions? Learn those. Learn how to read the information, and then start learning how to decipher the information and find patterns in the information. These are trading patterns like the OBO, the opening breakout, or the trend channel continuation, the TCC trade. These are different patterns. This is you landing in that spot. You move 20 yards down and now you've landed and you're getting a bunch of nibbles. That's the pattern, right? And then you're catching trades. Those are the trades. And if the trades, you keep throwing your line out there and you feel like you get a bite and then you lose the fish, that's you getting stopped out. It didn't work. And if that happens too much, then you need to change something. Either widen your stops, make your hooks bigger, because you keep getting those nibbles but not getting the trades. Your hooks are too small, too big, who knows? Maybe your hooks are too small and a massive fish is biting into it and it's too small to actually hook onto the fish. You had your stop loss too small. Whatever the situation is, you adjust it, and that's how you create your trading strategy. So you have the endless stream of information, and then you learn how to read that stream of information, and then you start deciphering that stream of information into chunks, into patterns, and you find the pattern that you like the most, that fits your personality the most, that fits what you want and need out of the market the most, and then you start testing a bunch of different things in that pattern and testing different strategies, different styles of trading, different entry strategies, different exit strategies, doing a partial entry, getting in 100 shares on the first breakout of the previous high and 100 shares on the breakout of the high of day, for example, or exit strategies, getting out half of your shares at your first target and then holding the other half for the continuation play. There's all sorts of different things that you could test out to develop your strategy around what's going on in a specific setup. A setup is not a strategy. A setup is a pattern that's happening in the market. It's that location in the river. You're now trading in that same location in that stream, but your strategy is the lure that you use, the size hook you use, the size reel that you use, the length of the pole that you use, the material of the pole that you use. It's all these different variables that you can adjust with your trading in the same location, on the same pattern, to make it work better for you. For example, if you're left-handed and you need the reel on the left-hand side, you need to adjust for that. You need to figure out how to these patterns and these setups are not just plug and play. That's why I personally don't teach my strategies, but I'll teach you different setups so that you can figure out how those setups work for you and learn how to trade those setups for you. I'm not going to give you my right-handed reel if you're a left-handed fisher, for example, right? I'm not going to teach you all these strategies, but you can learn these setups and then figure out how to adjust these setups to fit you and your personality, your trading personality, your childhood traumas that affect your emotions. And that's serious. That actually does come out in trading. If you've developed some fears that can hold you back in your trading, you need to learn how to resolve those fears, because all of these emotions that you have deep down inside, that's part of your internal psyche, is going to be amplified when you trade, because this is a very emotional sport, believe it or not. Everybody says trade without emotions. It's more so you need to learn how to control your emotions instead of letting your emotions control you, because as a human, you're never going to fully eliminate your emotions. Otherwise, you will be quite literally labeled as a psychopath scientifically. And that's essentially it. That's the stream of market information. That's that lesson. Thank you everybody for listening in. If you like that one, follow the stream, twitch.tv/MaxwellStar. Subscribe on YouTube. Just look up Inlight Trading on YouTube. And if you have any questions, let me know. Happy to answer them.